So here is part two of why TEFL was a good choice. Um, why choose Costa Rica for a TEFL course? Well, number one, Costa Rica is a beautiful country with lots of beaches to explore. I ended up choosing Manuel Antonio Cozy Maximo Novel for my TEFL course. But before I did, I actually was looking into a TEFL course in Samara Beach, Costa Rica. And I absolutely loved the photos that I saw of Samara Beach. I didn't know about the Maximo Novel program in Manuel Antonio. I had seen an ad for it, but I didn't really look that closely into it. I just didn't know that Manuel Antonio was going to be that beautiful. You can go on adventure tours and see amazing wildlife. I got to see amazing wildlife around San Jose. I didn't really get to see that amazing of wildlife in Manuel Antonio, except there were monkeys. I got to see some birds when I went on my whitewater rafting tour. The first one, which was right before my TEFL, and the second one, which was right after my TEFL. So I got to see the Naranjo River. I got to experience whitewater rafting. And I also got to see actually like around the marina area. My host mom and my host dad took me grocery shopping, and then we got to go kind of close to the marina and see that pretty place. Um, I also got to see the wildlife from walking around near Maximo Nivel in Manuel Antonio and going to the beach. So I got to see how beautiful Manuel Antonio was, which was like a really, really beautiful place. The other thing is Costa Rica is a developed country in the Latin American region. It's actually one of the most developed countries. So, it's safe and the infrastructure is amazing. Like the roads are amazing. There was a bus that took me from up top to where the beach was. There was an Uber that I got to take when I first arrived there. So I got to take an Uber from like the beach to where the hotels were, which was like the hotel that my one of my classmates stayed at. I got to see that hotel briefly. I was just there for like a few minutes because it was raining, and then we got an Uber from the hotel back to our homestay. But I got to see that area, and the nightlife is also a lot of fun in Manuel Antonio. I got to go out my first weekend and then my last weekend, and it was really cool to be able to see Republic, Arco Iris, and the shopping that was available over near the Maximo Nivel area. Like if you walk from Maximo Nivel like down towards like where the hotels and restaurants are, if you turn a left, yeah. So that was a really cool experience. Um, you can learn Spanish during your TEFL experience. I got to take 2 weeks of Spanish classes during my TEFL course. There were 1 hour every morning, which really helped because I had been taking 3 weeks of 4 hours a day in San Jose, and so having that experience, and then my 2 weeks, 1 hour a day in the morning, that really helped my Spanish improve. There are lots of schools offering jobs to TEFL graduates. So once you graduate from your TEFL course in Costa Rica, you can easily get a job in San Jose. Or you can go to other cities in Costa Rica. There's also Nicaragua, Guatemala, Peru, Argentina, and all of those places. Like you don't really need to speak Spanish, but it's awesome if you know how to speak Spanish because you've been learning Spanish at home and during your TEFL course. So why get a volunteer teaching experience? It is not required that, before you take TEFL, you volunteer teach, or, after you take TEFL, you volunteer teach. That's not required at all. But for me, that was a great choice. And that was because I needed practice. I needed to practice teaching, and I got plenty of teaching time during my 3 weeks with Foundation Mujer, before my TEFL course, and then the 1 week after my TEFL course. And I learned how to lesson plan. I learned how I learned how to work with students. I learned how to, tailor my lessons according to what my students needed. You will gain friends and connect with people. I got to make friends with the Maximo Novel staff, my students, my Foundation Mujer boss, and that was a really key thing for me, and that helped me feel like I had a community in San Jose, and that San Jose was going to be an awesome place for me to live in for 2.5 months, because I lived in Costa Rica for 3.5 months about. But I no 2 months. I lived in Costa Rica for 2 months, um, but one of those months was in Manuel Antonio. So yeah, so I lived in Costa Rica 3 months, and then 2 months Nicaragua. Okay. So let me so I lived in San Jose for 3 weeks, and then Manuel Antonio for 4 weeks, and then like a month and a half after that. So that was, yeah, so about 3 months in Costa Rica, because of the community that I had in Costa Rica. So yeah, really awesome to make friends and connect with people. You will gain confidence in the classroom. So if you don't have teaching experience in a classroom, it's hard to be confident in the classroom. So getting that volunteer teaching experience will really help you gain that confidence you really need once you start teaching as a job, not just as a volunteer, not just as a TEFL student. A volunteer experience on your resume will help you get a job. So your resume will say, I have teaching experience for, a month. I have these references from my volunteer teaching experience, and that will help set you aside from, all of the other candidates, and give you that one up, and will hopefully help land you a job for once you are done with your TEFL course. And of course, you get to experience San Jose, and really have the best time and make the most out of your trip in Costa Rica. So, yeah, these are some of the key things to consider, and I hope these videos um, were helpful, and my PowerPoint presentation was helpful to those out there who are interested in possibly doing a TEFL course abroad, and then also, teaching English as a foreign language abroad. Thanks for watching. Bye.